Hello there, Atheist Junior here, your friend and humble narrator, and it looks like me and Paulogia's video got featured on Whackin' Atheist. So, looks like a response video is in order.
Good evening, folks. Ken Hovind here in the crew at Dinosaur Adventureland. Sorry we're starting a few minutes late here. Little technical problem with the audio, but we now have dual mics. There's got to be a name for that. Welcome, Matt. Good to have you here, brother.
Hey, thanks. Good to be
Amen.
here.
All right, tonight, Whackin' Atheist. We're going to double tag team them here. Tonight's title, Paulogia and AJ, the Atheist Junior, get desperate. They posted last night on me and on Matt and on Steve. Did you hear that, Steve? Did you see that? Oh, yeah, they got you too. I can't believe it. Okay, Whackin' Atheist with Dr. Kent, the science gent. Do you have a handle too now?
Not really. Some people say like Professor Powell, but
Professor Powell.
You gotta be kidding me.
Really quickly, I just wanted to comment on the title and description of this video. First off, Kent Hovind is not a doctor. Secondly, in the description, it says that the channel is not monetized. But every new video that Kent Hovind puts out, he live streams it poorly. And he gets super chats on these videos. You have to monetize your channel to get super chats. I know this because I just monetized my channel, which means I can now get super chats on this video. So that's the first lie from Mr. Kent Hovind in this video, but it won't be the last.
Somebody sent me a text that, Brother Hovind, did you know Paulogia and Atheist Junior did a whole YouTube about you and Matt and Steve? I said, no, I don't care.
So you don't care, but you and Matt Powell are taking the time to make a response video. Kind of seems like you do care, Kent.
Well, I said, well, I'll watch it. Going back to jail. And my first thought was, this is classic. Most of his followers are not ever going to catch this, okay? But this is a classic example of desperation. When the whole thing is ad hominem. Let's attack the man instead of the argument. This is a sign of desperation.
In a second, they're going to show a version of me and Paulogia's video that Matt Powell has deceptively edited. And one of the biggest things he cut out was the entire intro from Paul that literally predicted this ad hom argument and debunks it.
To be clear, this video is not an ad hominem attack toward Kent's thoughts about human origins. Nothing we talk about today has any impact at all on the truth or non-truth of his ideas about creation, evolution, and the age of the earth. There's a library of existing and future videos to refute those.
Sorry for how the audio is doubled up when they're watching me and Paul's video. There's really not much I can do about that. Although it does kind of prove my point that Steve is incompetent at IT.
Kent cannot seem to go a day or two without incriminating himself. And he is a Baptist preacher, a radical right-wing Republican. He's somebody who's basically...
Radical right-wing Republican. Okay? And notice the money in the background. That's supposed to be representing... Hey, how many been here more than 6 months? Anybody been here more than 6 months? Is this place... Are we doing this for money? No. We don't charge anything. We let people copy my videotapes. Steve, you've been 5 years? This is not about... I think this is called projection. This is what you guys are about, but that's okay.
a tax protester.
I'm not a tax protester. Never have been. I think if you owe a tax, you ought to pay it. The question is, do you owe it? You know how much money I paid in taxes to the Mexican government last year? None. I'm not in Mexico. Okay.
Spent decades not paying income taxes.
AJ, I paid every tax I owe.
I have not filed any income tax in 28 years.
Go to KentHovinIsInnocent.net. Call Brady Byram. He studied my case for 15 months. Show me exactly what law. You're accusing me of breaking some law. AJ, show me what law.
Let's just be really simple here, okay? 26 U.S. Code 1, tax imposed. It's a law. In United States versus Hovind, this is the court ruling on one of Kent Hovind's appeals, and you jump down here to paragraph 12. The government proved that Kent knew the tax laws required the collection and payment of withholding taxes, but he refused to comply. Employees of Evangelism Enterprises, his peers, and legal counsel even testified that Kent disputed the authority of the IRS based on the separation of the church and state.
Come on.
Allegedly.
Yeah. He is associated with people who are sovereign citizens, and a definition for sovereign citizen is effectively people who think they're above the law, basically. The tower...
Oh, down there, okay. I'm not above the law. I think everybody should obey the law, including the government. They should obey the law too. Yeah, that's all. That's all I've ever said. Anyway.
Structure at DAL and CSC. It starts with Kent Hovind, and then you have Ernie Land.
If you want to help financially with the ministry, get a hold of Ernie. He handles all the money, trustee.
Somebody that's been friends with Kent for over 20 years.
Nearly 30, AJ. Good guy. Love Ernie. Great guy. Okay. A loose organization of individuals who claim full autonomy from our federal and state government. I don't do that. I think everybody should obey the rules, and I do.
And I don't understand what you mean by sovereign citizen. It's only God is sovereign.
The sovereign citizen movement. I'm not exactly sure what that is. They also claim the judicial system has no authority over them as a group or as individuals. I don't think I've ever claimed that. When they came and arrested me, they said, get every DVD number 5 you can find. They put me in prison. He went down and seized the church ministry bank account. This is John David Roy Atchison, the attorney for the government, an IRS agent. Later, he went and got arrested and hung himself in jail. Okay. Seized all of the properties, put them in the name of the government.
They got a safe in Joe Hovind's room that had $17,000 in it cash.
That may be true. I don't know. But we dealt with cash a lot. There's nothing wrong with that. I had 30 students working for us, college students. We didn't want to give them the pickup truck and the credit card and say, go to Home Depot and buy stuff, because then they show up 3 days later. Thanks for the vacation. So if we're going to buy, we had 12 houses in the neighborhood we bought, we're remodeling. I'd say, we need shingles for this house. Here's $3,000. Go buy shingles and plywood. We dealt with cash. So with all the projects going on, keeping $17,000 cash on it is not a big deal, AJ. No problem. And they stole it. The government stole it.
So, Kent, first you say that it may or may not be true. Then you say that you did deal in cash and that the government seized it. So which is it?
That they seized. They took Kent and Joe off to jail, obviously, which he is calling, kidnapping.
It was kidnapping, absolutely.
And breaking and entering. All of those things are in the documents. So he's suing like the judge that sentenced him. He's suing his own lawyer from back then. Just everybody who.
My attorney was nailing the IRS agent on the witness stand. I mean, he was making a fool of him. And the judge stopped the trial and said to my attorney, I want to remind you, this IRS agent's not on trial. Kent Hovind's on trial. You stop this line of questioning right now. And he went from a lion to a mouse in 2 seconds and threw me under the bus. Wow. Check with Brady Byram. He studied the whole case for 15 months. Yes, my attorney needs to be sued for that. Okay? See, people don't understand the attorney's first loyalty is to the court, not to the person. That's their first loyalty.
Well, of course, an attorney is not going to want to piss off the judge. But the judge was absolutely right to say that you were on trial, Kent, not Scott Schneider.
But that's another long story. So go ahead. AJ, keep mumbling. Talking.
I'm sorry, Kent. If you're having trouble hearing me, maybe it's because your tech guy, Steve, messed up the audio in another video. Or maybe it's just because you're an old boomer who's going deaf.
And the whole thing is ad hominem. Let's attack the man instead of the argument. Like me, half of my life since I'm going deaf. I say, what? Would you repeat that again? My favorite word. I say it 50 times a day. What? Repeat that, okay?
It's involved, basically. It was everyone's fault except his, of course. So he's suing the government for $500 million because Kent, he likes to file a lot of frivolous lawsuits.
I don't like to file any lawsuits, AJ. I don't want this fight at all. They came to me. I was sitting in my desk reading my Bible when they barged in with a SWAT team and arrested me. I didn't start any of these fights. I didn't leave any wife either. Nope, I never left anybody.
Maybe not, Kent, but when you're the common denominator in 3 failed marriages, you have to wonder if maybe the problem has something to do with you.
You guys don't get it.
This is what he did to the IRS back in 2005. The judge called the lawsuit frivolous.
This is standard. They always try to simply call it frivolous without giving any reason. They do this all the time. If they don't know how to answer it, so let's call it frivolous, okay? It's like you guys see your evidence of the monkey South America and call it science. Oh, they rafted. That's frivolous.
And delusional.
Amazing. So there's nothing Kent can do anymore.
Except lie.
Wait. Nothing I can do except lie. I didn't lie to begin with. The suits frequently get dismissed. They find one little flaw. You didn't dot the I or cross the T, so you start over and file it again. I did not break any law. And watch the video series, KentHovind.innocent.net. That's all. If I do something wrong, I get speeding tickets once in a while. Okay, you're right. I'm guilty. Here you go. Here's your $100. I know how to admit when I'm wrong. And I try to always go at least the speed limit.
On camera and say, hey, it's not over yet.
Wives, never yell at your husband. God put him in charge. Most of them don't want to be in charge. It's frustrating. Most husbands don't want to be in charge. It is frustrating. Yeah, okay, but go ahead. But God has to put somebody in charge of the family. He said, Adam, you guys messed up. Snake, crawl on your belly. Eve, Adam's the boss. Do what he says.
He's given the same seminar about wives submit to your husbands over and over again recently.
I don't give it over and over again. Once in a while I hit that topic, and that's what it says, isn't it? Am I getting it right? Wives, submit to your husbands as unto the Lord. You said, I don't want to. Okay. Eve, Adam's the boss. That's the curse. Okay? And husbands, your job is to love the wife and try to understand her. Good luck with that one. I don't think anybody's ever done that since the history of the world, but you can try. Okay. The power in the head, the woman who's to have long hair, is a symbol of her subjection to her husband. Honey, you're the boss. AJ, are you married? Okay, let's see. After Sally presents an eloquent, compelling case for a more equitable taxation system, Sam asks the audience whether we should believe anything from a woman who isn't married, was once arrested, and smells a bit weird. That would be an example of ad hominem.
Now, on a whole different note, we got the new hotshot young Earth creation advocate, Matt Powell, starting to show up and appear on camera with Kent.
How many are glad Matt's coming to join the team down here? Okay. All right. Sounds great.
And it's official that Matt is moving his entire family, including a newborn baby.
See, that's normal to bring your baby with you, AJ, when you move somewhere.
Kent, did I imply that it wasn't normal for him to bring his baby? I'm glad you have the peanut gallery there to laugh at your crappy jokes, though.
How many of you ever moved and brought your baby with you? Anybody ever done that before? Okay. Okay. Well, but you didn't surf on a raft, did you?
No.
Okay.
He recently had Mazel Tov down to DAL. And a lot of people have been telling Matt, like, don't do it, including atheists, including people who don't really like Matt Powell. I don't agree with the things he says, but as a young preacher, I think he's somebody who's got a lot of talent and he could have a future of success. And I don't really think you want to tie your name to Kent Hovind at this point and put your entire family down at Dinosaur Adventureland. Kent shows young people how to shoot rubber bands far.
We're going to stand here and shoot the rubber band down the center aisle. Go ahead.
And
AJ, do you know how to shoot a rubber band the scientific way? Because people were taking my videotapes and altering them, taking a phrase here and a phrase there and putting together, making me say things I didn't say, you know. And it gets their attention. But he shows the story here.
And the kid had
shot me in the face 3 or 4 times. I said, look, knock it off. Shoot, aim somewhere else on the body. Last time he shot me in the face, I ran over and pushed him on the ground. I said, don't shoot in the face, understand? Oh, okay.
At first.
So somebody saw me grab him and push him down and say, I told you not to keep hitting me in the face. You know, the kid he's only 13, but he was like 6 foot tall, you know, and yeah, so.
It's not like you were shoving some toddler.
Never mind. Okay.
Talk about straining at a gnat.
Strain at a gnat. And that was like, what, 6 years ago? That's all they can find. Okay.
This might seem like not that relevant, but then it shows to me that Kent is somebody who really can't control his temper.
One event 5 years ago, so it shows to AJ that I cannot control my temper. Steve, you've known me for almost 6 years. Have you ever seen me lose my temper or yell?
I've seen you get mad. I've never seen you get loud or violent, ever.
I'm certainly capable. I'm saving it for a special occasion. That's all. Anger.
They should look at R and Rob, because when he was in a debate, he lost his temper just based on a question. A young preacher asked him a question in the debate during the Q&A, and he goes, "Not one Christian ever has produced evidence. He didn't either, nor can you, nor can anyone. It doesn't exist." And he just lost his mind, was screaming into the microphone. But according to these people, you know, somebody who's calm and sweet and gentle is losing their temper.
Dude, you will go to hell! I am not joking! Look at me!
Matt, stop.
Look at me!
Stop.
You look at me right now!
Stop!
That
I came here for
has
the
nothing
video.
to do with this.
I came here for
We are going to talk about this.
You're gonna smile.
You are insane! You think I am yelling too hard? You have lost your mind!
Stop!
This video is starting to get kind of long, so I'm going to say one more thing before I end the video, because Matt Powell, despite me being more charitable to him than I probably should have, decided to go off on a tangent complaining about my YouTube avatar. And I think he completely misunderstood what the avatar is supposed to represent. What my YouTube avatar means is it's supposed to represent somebody taking religion and weaponizing it, misusing it, in order to hurt people physically, spiritually, financially, or emotionally. Does that sound like anybody that you know? Well, that's going to do it for this video. I know there's more of the video that I didn't respond to, but they barely showed any of me in Paulogia's video anyway, so why do I care? I want to say thank you so much to my patrons, David, Paul Camish, Danny, Regios, Bob Sadler, Dave Dalafiore, Pterodactyl Hunter, Martin A., Ian Chen, Jack, Stacy C., and IS4321IS. Thank you guys so much. And thank you to all of my new subscribers after the Paulogia video aired. The channel is now at 1,500 subscribers, and I was able to monetize it and run ads on the videos now, which is awesome. So I'm really excited about the channel growth. So thank you so much to all of my new viewers and everybody who engages with the content. You guys are awesome. But I'll see you in the next video. Peace.